sport. No teammates to pass to, nowhere to hide. Just you and the silence. To survive here, you must evolve. To win, you must become something more. Because now, one fighter ignites the team. One heart unites the city.
Welcome to Team Combat League, Team Boxing League. Boxing as a team sport. And here, the Philadelphia Smoke defending their team title against New York City Attitude. Forget about it. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Bontempo along with Austin Trout. No doubt, Trout, and no doubt that we're thrilled to bring you this presentation. As a longtime participant in boxing, somebody who has seen it for decades and decades, what I've always adored about it is the athleticism and then the wild card aspect. I love boxing taking its place in the idea of bringing something new to it. Team scoring, a championship, 200 points in one particular night, and 24 fights. That's one thing that I love, Austin. What about you as a former champion and a bare knuckles champion, now a coach? What appeals to you?
Man, where do I start? First of all, I love that there's 24 3-minute full fights, and you get all the emotions of a full fight in that 3 minutes. I mean, within that 3 minutes, you get the highs, you get the lows, you get the comebacks, you get the everything. And then once it's done, you got to go again and you get started. And you do this 24 times, and you know it's really fast action, hard fought rounds.
You know, we've seen some of that, what you're talking about, where a fighter was hurt early, came back, and then scored a stoppage within that 3-minute time period. So it's all out. Now, how about Philadelphia and New York, what we're going to see? You know, first of all, only separated by 125 miles. There's always that New York-Philly rivalry. So what about that with this league? Philly, the defending champion.
Well, New York is also a defending champion for season 1, so we kind of have champion versus champion right now, and I know New York really wants that lick back from last season. I'm looking forward to this fight. This is a great matchup. We have some good hitters in both teams, so you know I think it's going to be a real close fight. I can't tell you who's going to win.
And we have some interesting elements in that fighters like Jesse Hart for Philadelphia, championship people who have come in. They have a lot to fight for here. 24 action-packed rounds, 1 or 2 matchups per boxer, 9 men, 3 women, all their action adding up in team scoring because that matters. You're going to hear tonight how they do that, whether it's 10-9, 10-8, 10-7, because these things matter. 10-9 means you got the victory. 10-8, a knockdown occurred for that, and you'll be able to carry that over. It's like winning 2 matches, really. Yeah. And then the 10-7, a stoppage, that's really like winning 3 fights.
Yeah, and really it's 2 knockdowns equals a stoppage, right? So it doesn't matter if you have 1 knockdown apiece. The next person knocks the guy down, wins the round. And we've seen that happen multiple times in these fights.
And how does it unfold here? The launch rounds get us started, rounds 1 through 8. The middle rounds, 9 through 16, and the money rounds, 17 through 24. You'll see fighters a couple times.
That's right.
All-stars are the ones who get into the money round. Well, we've got our man on the scene, Bubba Jenga. Go ahead, Bubba.
You know it. What's going on, guys? I'm excited to be here. We're here in Philadelphia where we got the New York Attitude, we got the Philly Smoke, we got the Season 1 champions versus Season 2 champions meeting in Season 3, and there's definitely going to be some cooking going down, as Jesse Hart said. We're going to cook them. We're going to cook them. We're going to see who's going to eat tonight. There's a lot going on in this atmosphere. The crowd's coming in, and we're about to get the anticipation started. Fists are about to fly, punches are about to be thrown, and people are about to hit the canvas.
All right, you're on top of it there. We'll wait to see how you report in during the night because it is an interesting atmosphere. We saw that in L.A. The other night that the people really were going crazy for it. Now, how about some of the things that we have seen so far have been very interesting with a lot of teams in action. Now that we have seen a few fighters, we have some results, and now you can start to think about who are the elite teams.
Well, you know, we're just getting started with season 3, and I can't put anybody over the Houston Hitmen. We are the elite team. We just haven't been seen yet. We get our first fight next week.
That's right. You're waiting to weigh in.
Absolutely.
We'll get to that. And we've had some nail biters. Now, what are we talking about? Hey, the Attitude. 224 to 225 to Boston. That's a heartbreak when you have more than 200 points in action and you only lose by 1. You had Nashville over Atlanta. We saw a couple nights ago. Las Vegas, very convincing 231 to 217 triumph over the Miami Assassins. And Los Angeles getting past Phoenix. Phoenix in their first effort made an excellent presentation.
Yeah.
Thought about stealing that in the money rounds, and they really came on strong there. So that was a team about resilience.
Yeah.
And today, we're going to see more now because now we see some East Coast participation. And for the Attitude, hey, you know what? This is already maybe not quite a must-win, but they already lost one. There's a lot more pressure.
There is more pressure, but, you know, the reigning champs, you have to come in and show what they're made of. So, you know, I think the pressure really lies on Philly tonight. The thing about the team concept is that it takes the loneliest sport and it makes it not so lonely. You know, with these guys fighting and they have the whole team behind them on their back, you know, it seems like they fight harder with the team cheering them on.
Yeah, there really is a lot to that, and you know more about that than most being a coach. Well, we showed you what's gone on so far. We have a lot coming up. It's going to be every weekend. This is a season long through the summer and then into playoffs. San Antonio and Houston, Dallas and Boston, a doubleheader coming up on April 18th. Las Vegas and Nashville, Miami and Atlanta the night after that. Dallas and Houston. Houston, this man right here is the coach of the Houston team, and San Antonio and Phoenix, A.C. Bryant, who was here with us on Friday, he is the coach of the San Antonio team, so we have a little bit of rivalry as we do that. And, hey, Bubba, what do you think about that big schedule?
Man, I think the schedule is going to be awesome. We're on Merit TV almost every weekend. Just like any other sport, we're going to be giving you the action every weekend. I want to say maybe 16 weeks, but either way, it's going to be exciting. 18 rounds a night, getting it on. And we got the Attitude versus the Smoke. There's going to be some action here tonight, so make sure y'all tune into that. Merit TV, baby.
All right, we have rivalries with the teams that have faced each other before, and we have teams trying to make their mark. What I really like about this is the idea that I mentioned Jesse Hart before. Fighters who have been champions, we have Rashida Ellis here, an Olympian. What about the opportunity this gives to fighters who they might still be active in the other circuit, and now they can dip into here?
What I've seen so far is that it gives fighters a job. You know, a lot of these fighters probably wouldn't have fought at all in these 6 months that the season's happened. And they get a chance to not only get some activity, but they get to get paid on a regular basis, which makes them fight harder. And again, I feel like I don't have a job if I don't have a fight. So you know, it gives these guys a job. It gives them time to get better at perfecting their craft.
How would this have worked in your boxing prime when you beat Miguel Cotto and you cooked? You basically compiled rounds against people. One of your major strengths is that you were a great boxer. How would you have come into a situation? Now here's a guy has one round.
Yeah.
Now you being a sweet boxer, it's a little different now. How would that have been?
So me being a slow starter, I would have to make sure that I am so warmed up that I'm actually almost tired. You know, like maybe coming into the first round as if it was my 6th or 7th round. That would be key for me because I am a very slow starter. And I do need my time to figure out what we're doing. And in 3 minutes isn't really much time to fill out, right? So you just kind of have to go and impose what you want to do. And if he doesn't agree, then you have to make your adjustments on the fly. It's a really fast-paced type of game, and I think this is great for boxing.
So in this realm, a slow start is a no start.
Yes.
I call it bite-sized dynamite. So we're just getting ourselves started. We have a lot more to go with you tonight, so hang with us.
Sorry.
When I throw the break, do you want me to follow you up where you were doing it?
Here's the deal. Like, 7's your prime.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you that we're going 6 on a long break. And
So I can follow. I saw you going. I can look over there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to be sure.
And I just want to get your cable on, but I want to put it behind your jacket.
Sure. What
You don't have a cable, it's just I'll just put it
okay. All right.
and then I'm going to do this. Put this right there. Whoops. There we go. Good.
Okay.
That way you don't got a cable coming down.
Okay. Okay.
About the matchup.
Okay.
Team Combat League coming your way. Dave Bontempo and Austin, no doubt Trout. Well, we've got the matchup. New York City and Philadelphia. You've seen these teams compete. Philly has some really good professional fighters in there that have dipped down. How do you evaluate this matchup?
Well, New York has the experience, but Philly has the youth, in my opinion. And we're going to see if that experience can overcome the youth, right? Age before beauty, so to speak. I like New York. I love the coaches. They have their team in really a militant style type discipline. And every one of those guys are, stand-up guys. Everybody can fight. But about Philly. Everybody can fight in Philly too. So, it's going to be an interesting matchup. And I think New York has learned from their last fight, losing by 1 point. I think they learned they need to get the rounds in the bag early.
I will be able to talk more about that throughout the broadcast, but when we're talking about New York and Philly, great rivalry, Bubba's got the coaches. Go ahead, Bubba, take it away.
Yeah, I'm here with the New York coaches, and they have already gotten a fight this year. Didn't get the win that what they wanted, but they're here again for another performance. How do you guys feel about what is going down tonight?
Feel great, man. I mean, we're in their hometown. We fought these guys before. We know what they bring. The matchups are all even, but I think we have a little bit of an edge, man. I mean, we have a great squad this year. Fantastic.
And with you guys having already fought this year and them being on the debut, do you feel that gives you guys the advantage?
Definitely. We bring in the energy, we bring in the attitude to the smoke this season.
Awesome. Well, you guys are the Season 1 champions. You'll be fighting the Season 2 champions tonight in Season 3. How do you guys feel about that? Champ versus champ, how do you guys like the matchup?
It could be a finals match, but we're getting it early in the season, and we're going to do it again later in the season. We're excited about it. We always like fighting Philly. Bunch of good guys out there, tough guys, tough customers, but we know what we have to do. We're ready.
What do you think the difference is?
I think experience is more different. I think we're going to be more explosive, being that we already had our first fight. They're going to be slow out the gate, and I think they're going to be a little overconfident today.
Well, where you have it by the coaches right here in New York, TCL brings you no touching gloves. They're going to get right after it, and they feel they have the advantage because they're already warmed up. Right back at you guys.
All right, Bubba. That shows you some pretty good insight. First of all, it looks like they're not really upset about what happened last week. They probably learned a little bit about that. Now, what about this team concept? As a coach, how much are you stressing that during the match? Okay, it's you as an individual but there's also a team camaraderie.
You know, it kind of takes us back to the amateur days when we did have a team that we fought with, whether it was the city team, the state team, the region team, the national team. It helps. It does help. You know, we gain energy from our guys because we can't let our guys down. It's one thing to let yourself down, but to let your team down, that's unheard of through these guys.
And to take it one step further, how much do your teammates lift you up?
Oh, they lift our guys up big time. And for example, our first fight, we were down like 4 points. Our team was getting rowdy, telling them like we need this knockdown, and my guy went out and got the knockdown. You know, they asked for it, he delivered. I don't know if he would have done that if the team wasn't behind rallying for him like they did.
All right, so New York City has the attitude. Forget about it. Philly's got Philly. Hey, we've got Bubba with the coaches.
What's going on? I'm here with Coach Ron and Coach Omir. We got the Philly Smoke in the house. They haven't fought this year, but they're about to make their debut. I'm about to get the coaches on what they feel about how they're going to go tonight.
I feel like it's going to be a win just like last year, bringing it right back home.
And you, sir, how do you feel about the champ-on-champ matchup that you guys got going?
Well, we took on the champs the first bout last year. We beat them. We're going to do the exact same thing this year.
Okay, so how do you feel about your head coach not being here? You guys are making your debut going against the champs. What do you feel is going to bring you guys the edge?
Our head coach is here.
Okay.
He just doesn't want to do interviews. He's in the back. So make sure when he comes back out, you interview him.
I got you, my man. So what do you guys think the difference will be versus you guys tonight versus New York?
What the difference will be versus we're just better.
I think our team is even stronger than last year. Last year we went on a whole winning streak. I think we're going to do it right again. I mean, we got the same team. We got a little bit more added to it, so we're ready to go.
Now, the coach in the last session said that you guys might come out a little bit overconfident. I'm seeing the confidence, but I don't know if it's over yet. What do you guys think about that idea?
You can't be overconfident in this sport, right? It's a hurt business, right? You got to come out swinging. You got to come out confident.
I mean, there's a reason why we're confident. We back up what we say. We said we were going to win last year. We brought the championship back home. We're going to bring it back again. So confidence is key in order to succeed in this sport.
Confidence is key, TCL. There you have it, the champs versus champs matchup. Here we go, season 3, TCL. Back at you guys in the studio.
All right, so we get some of the overview surrounding this competition. Philly confident, maybe not overconfident. They'll be getting it going later on, and we have more for you, so hang with us. We've got more coming your way on the other side. Not the time to think of first time for everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could touch on the money round concept. Okay. Okay. This is Margaret Cresta.
It's me and then over to Bubba. Balance of Nature is a proud partner of TCL. As a preferred customer, get 35% off your first set when you use code FIGHT. Go to balanceofnature.com or call today. Well, boxing is closing in, and Bubba, as we get close, has a very interesting story. Go ahead, Bubba.
Yeah, man, we got an interesting story right now. You know the TCL loves their women. You know how we get down. We got Margaret Cresta here. She's going to be the announcer for tonight, and she's getting excited. She's getting ready to start.
Oh, I'm so excited. I should talk into yours. No, I'm so excited tonight. This is such an innovative way to do boxing. And
It's our first TCL event.
First TCL event, and I'm excited to be here in Philadelphia to do it.
Now, I know you haven't been a part of this TCL, right? But there's a team concept to it. The girls fight on, the girls root on each other, the boys come out. It's a team concept. I know you haven't seen it, but what do you feel about this team aspect?
Well, I'll say this. I love how ladies are first. Ladies first always, so I love how they're the first two called out to the ring, and it's exciting. Everyone that's talked about Team Combat League has said great things and how exciting it is, so I'm excited to actually be a part of their show and see it myself.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited for her to bring out the announcers, bring out the fighters, bring it all on, bring the action. I'm going to be calling it from ringside. She's going to be in here doing her thing. Back at you guys in the studio.
All right, well, you know what? We call them women, but there's nothing wrong with ladies first, ever. You're always going to come out ahead with that.
Chivalry is not dead.
Oh, no. And you know, we talked earlier about some of the stars. I mean, I think about Jesse Hart, the son of Eugene Cyclone Hart, and Rashida Ellis coming in here. Who are some of the big names you're looking forward to seeing here tonight?
The Albright brothers. We got Nahir and Q, those two guys, and I think there's another brother, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a fighting family from Philly, and they can fight. I believe one of them is going to be doing some singing for us as well. Multi-talented.
That's right. You don't get scoring points for that, but you do get to showcase some extra skills. Hey, there are some very good matchups. Well, we're getting ready for that ring action. It's coming real fast. Yeah. We're going to take a step back and then come out. And we're going to be doing some boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newtown Athletic Club for tonight's Team Combat League Epic Showdown. It's Philadelphia Smoke versus New York City Attitude. Tonight's event is brought to you by Climax Moonshine, fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Balance of Nature, proud supplement of TCL. Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place for recovery and self-discovery. These bouts are approved and sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Chairman at ringside, Rudy Battle. Executive Director, Ed Kunkel. And your officials tonight are judges Steve Weisfeld, Kevin Morgan, Bernard Bruni, Justin Rubenstein, and your referees at the sound of the bell are Eric Dolly and Sean Clark. Your timekeeper is Fred Blumstein, and your physician at ringside is Dr. Tony Al-Amin. All right, now let's get ready for an unforgettable night of action. First up is New York City Attitude. From Coach Ryan O'Leary and Benny Roman's New York City Attitude, welcome our fighters. Unpresented, 10-time New York Golden Gloves champion, multi-time national champion, and 2020 Puerto Rico All-Olympian bantamweight, Christina Hell's Kitchen Kid Cruz. Please welcome featherweight Enrique Smoke Leon. Multi-time national champion featherweight Angel Reese Lopez Mendez. Multi-time national champion lightweight Ryan Pretty Boy Zaboteka. Multiple-time international champion in 2024 Haiti Olympian welterweight Darius the Hawk Jackson. 8-time Puerto Rican national champion junior middleweight Ryan Pino. Middleweight Lasha Gurgulani. Heavyweight Stanley the Black Shotgun Wright. Featherweight Cara Marie Karma Mateos. Lightweight Shebek Rakhmatulev. Multi-time national champion, Team USA member, and Olympic trialist, super lightweight, Stasia the Natural Santos. Welterweight, Lionel Taz Santana. Super middleweight, Philippe Stankovic. Light heavyweight, Isaac Santos Spiritus Carbonell. Cruiserweight, Rancy Stagner. And heavyweight, Igor Plavaco. All right, ladies and and gentlemen, please welcome TCL defending champions, the Philly Smoke! Defending TCL champion, Philly Smoke! Welcoming our fighters, first up, multi-time national champion and 2024 U.S. Olympian, bantamweight, Jermaine, the Hyatt Ryan Patricio! Featherweight, Rajiv Shagashi Brown! Multi-time national champion and 2020 U.S. Olympian, heavyweight, Rashida Alice! Lightweight, Nahir Pretty Boy Woo! Welterweight, Tyree Junior middleweight, Grenier C4 Albright. 2016 U.S. Olympian, middleweight, Paul the Punisher Roy. Heavyweight, Joey the Tank DeMaco. Featherweight, Chanel the Sniper Butler. Lightweight, Angel Guerrero Hernandez. Brianna Hillary Correa. Welterweight, Nerval, the chosen one, Arnold. Super middleweight, the new Ray Robinson. Former USPA and the NABO super middleweight champion, light heavyweight, Jesse Hollywood Carr.
You hear the fighter introductions and some of the atmosphere in the building. It's a new way to introduce the fighters.
I like it. It lets us put a face to the name.
Especially if you have some Olympic credentials.
Yeah.
You know, and for people who have never been in the limelight, it's a thrill to hear your name called.
Yeah, and hear the Philly fans cheer for you. I know you heard the boos when New York was being announced. That's that Philly.
That's that Philly energy. That's that Philly.
It's a rivalry. It's a good one. It's a rivalry. It's a good one. It's a rivalry. It's a good one.
We ask those in attendance to please rise as we salute the congregation. Please give a warm welcome to Philly Smoke's own Nahir Albright.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, carried through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, he did a bang-up job, and perhaps he'll sing a lullaby for his opponent later on.
Man, he can sing though. Man, he hit those notes.
All right, the launch rounds. Here we go. These are the first 8. 3 minute, 1 round, 1 verdict. Move along. Where you try to get your team off to a good start. A lot of pressure and butterflies for the first performer.
Well, we start off with the ladies, but that usually means that we're going to start off with some vicious action. The women have always led strong in this TCO
Combat League.
This is a good matchup.
Well, you heard the credentials for Cruz. There's Patricio. And we are off to the races. Cruz going to try to stay on the outside. Notice something interesting here, the clock. 2 minutes, 30 seconds in, 3-minute duration for the women.
Yeah,
the only place you have that.
That's right. TCO had to get, special ruling to allow the women to fight 3 minutes. Normally they go 2.
So because of that, we have a few extra variables in there. A little bit of pacing has to go with the explosiveness that you want to get going.
Good body shot.
Will not be counted as a knockdown. That's very important. Because in a short fight, a knockdown or a referee's ruling against you is monumental.
Yes, you're going to be 2 points behind, and the whole team is now 2 points behind. Oh, good right hand. Patricia's doing great combinations. She's finishing the exchanges.
Yeah, she's getting over the top as Cruz letting the hand down as she's trying to jab and not bringing it back.
No, I think Cruz is trying to bait her in, but she's not meeting her with any punches. There's her baiting her in with the feint, but you know she didn't meet her with anything to follow up. Nice combination for Cruz.
Yeah, how much time do you have to bait and feint in 3 minutes? It's a tough call.
It's a tough call because you know if it's not working, you just have to move on to the next trick. Nice right hand from Patricio.
Now we get some good work on the inside. So we saw some very good countering early on by Patricio.
When Cruz lets her hands go, she is very efficient.
Nice right hand coming through here again by Patricio.
And Cruz came with their own left hook, which looked like it, buckled her, not buckled her, but it looked like it shook her up a little bit.
These are good flush shots getting in by Patricio.
Let's go. Good body work from Patricio, too. She's following her back, which looks good on the judges' scorecards, in my opinion.
All right, so this one will come to an end. It had good energy for the 3 minutes.
Absolutely. Like I said, the women always bring it.
Yeah,
and we started off with them.
In a renewed format.
Yes.
Well, sometimes I like to play along. I think it was Patricio's bout. How about you?
I think Patricio was busier. She landed more. Cruz did come on in the later part of the round. But
so it's early versus late.
Right. But I don't think it was enough soon enough.
So when did the judges believe Cruz made her move? Early? Did she get there in time? Have to be a little nervous now. Yes, she did.
She took the bout. 10-9 for Philly.
So it's a nice win for the home team.
And they're over a very good opponent, too. Patricio got a win over an Olympian. Christina Cruz is, as good as they come. This is a good matchup here.
Leona Brown, here we go. Battle of the lefties.
Superior southpaw stances, I like to call them. Oh, good jab.
You always like that southpaw stance. We saw you put it on display quite a lot. Now, what do you tell the fighters when you don't have the normal lefty versus righty matchup here?
Jab like your life depends on it.
And does a different opening come down the middle, a different type of a punch open up here, lefty-lefty?
Lefty-lefty, we're not used to being jabbed while jabbing.
Yes.
And we eat jabs, unfortunately, because we're not used to fighting left-handed. I don't like fighting left-handers, even though I'm a left-hander.
It's been one of my classic statements. I love a southpaw that complains about fighting a southpaw. It's an injustice.
I can't stand us.
Because most southpaws believe they have such a great strategic advantage stylistically.
Absolutely. We fight right-handers all our lives. And then every once in a while we have to deal with one of us.
How dare they level the playing field.
Yeah, nice left hand from Rashid.
It's really a chess match here. Who's going to make the mistake? Who can capitalize on one move?
Look, Rashid is really working behind the jab, and I think that's the only difference right now. Enrique isn't jabbing at all. Yeah, another jab, set it all up.
Take a look at how they try to move the sport along, right in the on-deck circle.
Yeah.
And you get to battle with your nerves as you watch the fight in front of you. I think I'd prefer that rather than a long wait, though.
You know, they get right to it. This is a great round of action, just like the last round was. Nice body work from Rashid. Enrique needs to really start rallying some points. He's got a minute left to do something. And if he wants to do anything, he's going to start with that jab.
Yeah, how do you start to make the adjustment if you've been trying something and now you have to go into something else?
You just got to try something else, you know?
And you see the confidence of his opponent coming at him now, starting behind the jab because that's been working.
Yeah.
So it's propelling him into a different mode.
He's building off the jab. You know, it started off with jabs, scoring. Now he's scoring left hands, scoring hooks to the body, and it all started with that jab. Again, another jab, keeping him off balance.
All right, final seconds counting down. All right, time for the judges.
We got some little back and forth talking.
What would it be without smack? Take a look at what we saw in that round.
Yeah, it was nice 1-2. You know, keep it simple. Good defense after the 1-2. You know, he let his hands go and he got his head off the line.
Yeah, especially in this format, like jab and get out. Let the judges see it.
Hit and not get hit.
That's another 10-9.
So we were up 20-18, Philly.
All right, it's a good start for the Smoke. Mendez and Ellis.
Another good matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ellis, a 2019 AIBA champion and a 2020 U.S. Olympian, showing that there is a new circuit for the fighters.
Ooh, that nice right hand kind of stopped her in her tracks. And these girls are fighting.
We got boxing skills versus some good muscle on the inside. We have a nice contrast to this matchup.
Absolutely, and again, Rashid, she started off with a good jab, and now she's building off that jab. Nice body from Mendez.
When you have a good jab, you can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and throw a good jab. It's just so instinctive.
Oh, good right hand from Mendez.
And she's getting through that. She knows that she has to get through that.
Yeah. This is where she wants to be, right in the inside. Rashid needs to get back on her jab because that's what was working. And that's what kept Mendez at bay.
So first the slip and then get inside and do your work.
Nice jab. Nice jab.
There was a right hand by Ellis behind the jab, but very good pressure here from Mendez.
Oh, good duck under counter. Good D from both the women. Oh, nice right hand.
It's going to be interesting to see in this one how the clock comes into play. Because for Ellis, Maybe, you box so much, maybe this last minute's an advantage with your experience.
Well, Ellis is right now, she's in a good rhythm. She's got her timing down, she's got her distance down. It's hard to break somebody out of that. And Mendez only has a minute to figure it out.
Good stick
nice
by Ellis. And a good sneaky right hand behind the jab.
Nice. Inside fighting from Mendez.
Mendez making the most of the opportunities that she's had. But when you're up against a good jabber like this, you have to reset it. So Ellis now hitting the afterburners. Can this be stopped? This would be huge on the scorecards. Ellis, uppercuts. Now it's a question of can Mendez only lose 10-9. Final seconds.
Good sneaky uppercut on the inside.
Boy, a couple points were sitting right there. Mendez did well just to not be stopped.
Absolutely, she survived. And sometimes that's all we need.
Well, she was in the fight, and then I was talking about that last minute. And Ellis really did turn it up in that last minute and used her experience.
She did, and again, before she got to this onslaught, she was in a great rhythm. She saw everything coming before it happened, and she couldn't miss. Her accuracy was spot on that last minute.
And she was patient enough to use the entire clock.
Yes.
Because with a minute to go, this was still a contest.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was still up for grabs.
And then she pulled away and makes it 10-9, so a very good performance by Ellis. And Philly is off and streaking.
Here's another great matchup.
And there is the national anthem singer.
That's right. That's right. Both of these men have good experience in Team Combat League. They fought last year. Very successful last year. And let's see if Nahir can fight as good as he sings.
Well, threw a left hook and then he threw a right hand behind that.
Nice inside fighting from both men.
Jab up and the body shot down for Albright.
Nice hook off the jab. Nice right hand over top from Ryan. Oh, good right hand.
Love the balance here by Albright. Good footwork. And to beat him, you have to win the timing battle first.
And the best way to get your timing on is by jabbing. You're going to hear me talk about the jab a lot. It's my favorite punch.
It is a great spot, but how does that get you into your timing?
Because it measures the distance, it measures how fast he is. If he's slipping the jab, then you got to speed it up. And if you have to speed the jab, you got to speed the rest of your shots. It's a great measuring stick. Nice.
The jab is like the reporter.
It's exactly.
This is what's happening.
Look at them, they're throwing bombs now.
And there's also something that when you do get the jab going, it does lead you into that second set of offensive skills.
Absolutely. It gets the rest of your punches snapping.
And what does that feel like? Because you've been there when the jab is working and now you're in that second spot. Elevated.
It feels like you can do whatever you want now. If I'm hitting him with the jab, I'm definitely going to touch him with my left hand. The hook is about to come. He's too worried about the jab to be worried about everything else. And that's where you can sneak in everything else. This is a tough round to score for the judges.
Yeah, because you've got to decide whether you like the scholarly approach of Albright versus the power on the inside.
Yeah.
And different judges will look at these things different ways.
Good jab.
It's Albright making his case late to the judges. All right, Mr. Outside or Mr. Inside? That's what we're talking about now.
Well, look, Mr. Sing It, I think he brought it.
Sing it and bring it.
Yes, sir.
I think he did too.
A lot of action this round. Here's just some of what they were going through. Back and forth. Look at that. Exchange of shots. That's been the whole round. Nice right hand from Albright.
That was the bomb bursting in there.
Yeah.
And he gets out of here with the win.
4 straight wins for Philadelphia. New York is now in the hole.
Fortunately for New York, no stoppages. That's why the end of that last fight, where it only ended up 10-9, was big. But have to worry about getting swept here in the opening rounds. It's Haywood and Jackson. All right, so New York in a hole, but there are 20 bouts still ahead.
Yeah, this is a strong fighter that they put out. Darius Jackson, we saw him last year. He had some good stoppages. He has some good power. Hopefully he can get New York going.
Now, it's one thing to be a good boxer yourself individually, as we see Jackson switch. Do you feel pressure for your teammates when you've lost the first 4?
Yes, there's absolutely pressure on Darius. You know, he's got to turn this around for his team. And his team is really kind of relying on him to help turn it around for them.
Yeah, you can understand the emotional swings of we're expecting to get a point here and we don't, versus we didn't expect to get anything here and we did.
Yeah.
Good jab and a left hand straight down the chute by Jackson.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay.
You know, is this a situation where he started right-handed and now he's happy with how he's done as a southpaw and he's staying?
Yes, he seems to have found a nice home for that left hand in the southpaw stance, and then he's just going to use it until Buddy can figure it out. Good defense from both guys. Oh, it looks like we have a mouthpiece fall out or a knocked out.
You get a little bit of a break. If referees think that you're milking it and trying to buy time, occasionally we've seen, very rarely, that they'll take a point.
And this is why they call for 2 mouthpieces. Just in case one gets lost, we have another mouthpiece ready to go so we don't take too much time. Ooh, good body shot.
Because you have to think somebody in boxing will come up with some tricks to use that.
Oh, for sure.
I remember the cut gloves and
Oh, good 1-2 from Haywood.
With Jackson coming back. So Jackson has had the perceived aggression. Is it effective, though?
I think it's been effective. You know, Haywood is doing a lot of good things later on in this round, but I don't know if it was enough to secure a win for Philly for this round, this bout.
Some good body shots underneath by Philly.
Oh, good right left hand.
Jackson on the outside. Good measured performance by him. Final seconds.
Ooh, good exchange.
Well, based on the positioning on the floor, I think Jackson put New York on the board.
Yeah, I think Jackson got the first win for New York. They need that. Let's see if they can rally behind that. A lot of action that round.
Let's see how Jackson did it.
That was a good straight left hand. Look, Haywood threw a jab to try to disrupt it, but Jackson was able to finish the combination, or finish the flurry, as we call it.
Excellent shot down the middle by Jackson. And he is on the board for New York. Cuts it down to 3 points.
This matters. A win like that matters. Now, hopefully, New York can take that momentum and swing it around.
You need to have a stopper.
Absolutely, and you know, if this is Ryan Pino coming up, he's a stopper, but so is Kadir. This is a great matchup. Both of these guys have power in both hands.
All right, Pino and Albright. Can New York make it 2 in a row? It's Albright getting ready to go.
That's right. That's the brother of Nahir is now Kadir, and I think he sings too. Actually,
he might be the one to tell you. I gave him singing lessons. All right, so it's Albright and Pino. Albright already saw his brother sing the national anthem and get a win.
Yep. See if he can follow suit.
So
Pino's not going to make this easy for him. This is, like I said, I'm looking forward to this matchup right here.
We've got nice contrast in styles with Albright on the outside and Pino trying to find a way in.
Nice combination from both men. Ooh. Throwing bombs. This is why we love TCL. Look at that. Oof.
Good left hook here by Pino.
From both of them. Oof. Look at that body work. Looks like Pino's getting in a rhythm. He's starting to feel it.
And we got tremendous good right hand by Pino as he got there ahead of the jab.
Twice. He did it right twice.
It's really a science in itself is timing the jab.
It really is. And you know, again, this is only a 3-minute fight, but you can't just not box. You have to get behind your jab. You got to do those basic boxing things. Warning from the ref telling Ryan to pick his head up. Didn't necessarily agree with that warning, but
as long as there's no point with it.
Yeah, exactly.
In this case, we have a very active ref. Sometimes you don't have an active ref.
Oh, look at that counter, 2-3.
There's a good jab on the outside by Albright. As you look on the sides, fighters coming after this, getting their final, getting that sweat out.
Yeah,
make sure they're ready to hit the ground running.
Again, you don't want to come in here cold. Nice body work from both men. Oh.
There you go, that bite-sized dynamite.
Let's go.
Good shots from both.
Great action.
Albright throwing the right hand and Pino digging to the body. Nice right hand by Albright on the outside.
1, 2, 3, bounce off the gloves of Pino. Nice
hook. Albright almost said good night.
This has been a crazy 3 minutes. Albright did, good overhand, but Albright came in, later rallied.
And Albright walked into some bad medicine just before the end.
Yeah. There was a great rally at the end.
The slugfest.
That was a great round. Great bout.
Now they let it all hang out there. Now it's tough if you don't get the win.
Like that. I think Pino did enough to secure a win. It's a good rally for New York.
Well, you look at the body language. He thinks the same way. Albright was good outside, and you are right.
Yeah, got it, yeah.
Pino makes it 2 in a row for New York.
Now New York is only down by 2.
Yep, right back into right back into good position.
And look, I love the gentleman's sport of it. They just try to kill each other, and now they're holding the ropes open for each other.
And what if they fight later?
You know, exactly. Because if I was the coach, I would have put both those men in the no money rounds for sure.
You ready? Then you meet later. Why did I hold the rope open for you? I can't believe I did that. If I knew you were that kind of guy.
Yeah.
All right, 7th fight.
Fighting for New York City Attitude, Lasha
2 more fights left in the launch rounds, and New York launched themselves back into it.
Only down by 2. Zit sits I see on Philly. Oh, no, they're not zit sits. I take it back.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you talk about a fight all week, you train all week, you hang out with your teammates, you talk to your coaches, and your entire week now is measured by 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
We talk about the action, but how about the fact that this is a report card of an entire week in 3 minutes?
And then, you know, once you're done, you got to go back and get ready for the next test, which is a total different person.
As opposed to, say, football 3 hours long, baseball 3 hours, you're looking at 3 minutes. How did you do this week? 3 minutes will tell you.
3 minutes will tell you, and you know, it's a long 3 minutes. Ask any one of these guys. Oh, behind the head.
Careful, you don't want to lose anything with that. That might be for the skills competition.
Look,
but not for the not the razzle dazzle here.
Yes, sir. It looked good. Good body shot from Lasha.
Continuing to pressure. Good counter punching by New York.
Yes, sir. Again, this is a tough one to judge for the judges. Glad I'm not in their seat.
When you're looking for something definitive to happen at the end. Good left hand coming through by Kroll.
Oh, nice exchange of straights between both of them. Oh.
That's a slip.
It was a bit of a headbutt and a punch. I'm glad he didn't call it a knockdown. It was interesting.
In this format especially. I mean, even in a 12-round fight, but recovering from a knockdown in a 1-round fight.
Yeah. Looks like we got some bleeding coming from Lasha's right eye. It's very unfortunate because, you know, he's going to have to take some time off to let that heal.
And we saw heads come together, and that could have been it.
I think so. Looks like we got blood coming from Kroll's eye, too.
Which would further indicate that
it was a headbutt.
That a headbutt opportunity there. So, the good thing is, for the moment, they got through the fight.
Yeah. Judges got a task on their hands for this one. I can't tell you who took it. I'm leaning towards New York, but yeah,
well,
it's anybody's round.
In other circumstances, this might be your 10-10 round.
Yeah,
right. But you can't do that here.
Right.
You could be looking at a month off of combat with a bad headbutt, right?
Yeah. And in TCL, month off of combat means you're going to miss out on about 4 fights.
Yeah, back in it again.
Okay. It's 1 point.
It's a 1-pointer. It's a streak fest. 4 for Philly, 3 for New York. 1 point, and we come to the end of the launch rounds. New York sure loves those close fights.
Yeah.
225, 224.
Oh, it's the big boys.
Stanley Wright.
And he's going up against Joey Dureco. He's got a tough order on his hands. Joey's as tough as they come.
Yeah. Does he have the brawn? Black shotgun is Stanley Wright.
Yes,
and Dureco is trying to stop the momentum going against Philadelphia.
Here they go. We love a heavyweight fight.
We love action in a heavyweight fight. The public always has.
Absolutely. When the heavyweights do good, we all do good.
How true. Especially in the United States when there has been an American champion. And it's been an elusive situation for many years.
Yeah, we miss you, Deontay Wilder.
Oh, good shots coming in here by New York.
Ooh. Stanley's got to look out for that, for Joey's overhand right. It's a strong one, and it's fast. Ooh, nice uppercut. Barely missed. Good combination from Stanley.
And you really might see faster action with the heavyweights because the big men can tire in those long fights, but one round,
forget about it.
Yeah, it's right. New York trying to make their deficit go away and forget about that.
You know, Stanley's really bringing it. Good combination on the inside. He's got quick hands. Joey needs to stop letting him outwork him. Even though a lot of those punches aren't going through, he's the busier fighter. He's the effective fighter.
Good work here by Wright.
Yeah.
Speed on the inside.
It just seems like Joey's just getting outworked right now. You know, nothing's landing really, big. Oh, almost.
And that's all he's got left now is something big.
Yeah, he's got to land something because. Oh, we got some blood off of the forehead of Joey.
Did not look like the heads came together on this one.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Look, I don't care what you think. This is what peak physical shape looks like.
And to go 3 minutes hard like this at that weight.
Speed and power. And I bet you they could run, a 440, 40-yard dash pretty good within 5 seconds. Oh.
Here's Stanley Wright putting perhaps an exclamation point on it. We'll see. If New York gets this, we end up tied.
Yes, sir. This was Stanley's debut in TCL, and he had a tall order against Joey, and he did his thing. He let his hands go. He was busy. Like I said, they didn't land anything significant, but he was throwing more punches and kept Joey on the back foot.
And he does enough for that reason.
Yes, sir. We are tied up now.
We have launched a deadlock. The launch rounds, 4 for Philly, then 4 for New York. Well, talked about this as a rivalry, and we have seen both sides come to the table. 4 for Philly, then 4 for New York. First part of this ends up even. Back for the middle rounds after this.
but yeah, done. So Pino and Kadir is good.
Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place for recovery and self-discovery. Well, talking about recovery, we certainly saw that from NYC Attitude. Quite a comeback from that slow start for them.
The thing is that they didn't let that deficit, they were down 4, and they didn't let that determine where they were going. And it's hard to come back when you see 4 of your guys go and you're like, oh man, we just, you know, it's easy to fall into a hole and not climb out. But they climbed themselves out, and it started with our.
Let's take a look at how. Yeah, let's take a look at how they did it. They came back with attitude after they lost the first 4. Look at all those 9-10s become 10-9s.
Yeah, Darius Jackson started off, and the rest of the guys follow suit.
It was a string of pearls for the New York team. Hey, Bubba, we had a deadlock for the launch rounds. What have you got for us?
Yeah, man, it is deadlock. Listen, Philly Smoke came out and jumped right on them, but New York had that attitude, and they pushed the last couple rounds and come back. The thing about TCL is you don't have a warm-up period. You don't have this time to get cracking and get started. You got to get in there and get after it, and Philly jumped right on them. And I don't know if it's because New York already had a fight, but they were able to bounce back. But now we're in the next part of the fight, and it's an even fight. We're going to see who's going to get it in the money rounds. But it's coming down to the attitude versus the smoke. And we know both of these cities have both of those things. Back to you guys.
They certainly do. The New York City and Philadelphia rivalry, about 125 miles apart. Hey, Eagles, Giants, Rangers, Flyers, the basketball. It's always there with these cities. And now we're seeing it in team boxing.
The thing is, remember how we said Philly Smoke might have been a little bit overconfident? Well, when they had that first 4 wins, it did seem like they had it in the bag. But New York, with their experience, you know, and their patience, they rallied back, and I'm looking forward to these next middle rounds.
All right, let's take a look at the balance of nature middle rounds lineup and see who is the next 8. Who are the people who are going to try to author a lead for their team?
Well, the fighters I think that I'm going to keep my eye on is Ray Robinson, Jesse Hart, Steve Cunningham. And of course, Conjun Nathan, we saw him have some big stoppages last season. You know, he's a big puncher. You know, I like all these fights. These are great matchups.
Well, we've seen parity. 4-4 in terms of bouts won, dead even. And so we go to the next set of rounds, as we should. Totally tied.
We are now headed into the middle round, round number 9.
So how do you see about the momentum is very important on both sides. Take a look at Vargas.
First up in 126-pound division, fighting out of New York City Attitude, Cara Marie Vargas. opponent, fighting out of Philly Smoke, Chanel Butler.
Ferguson Butler, ready to go as we start the middle rounds. Now you come in here, your team has won 4 in a row. You're coming in for New York. What are your thoughts going in here?
We got to keep that momentum going. You know, this is where the whole team aspect kind of helps push the fighter. And then on the flip side, we've lost 4 in a row, Philly. You know, I need to turn this around for my team. So they're fighting not just for themselves. It's bigger than them. This is for New York. This is for Philly. This is for the whole championship right now.
And what's it like when you're in there and the cheering you get is from your people? It's teammates.
It builds us up. I've seen men do amazing things when they have the support with their teammates. I've seen women do even more amazing things when they have the support of their teammates.
I think you really can transfer energy to people.
Absolutely. In fact, it's one of the laws of the universe. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred.
All right, so this is really an exciting, strategic matchup now as it is tied.
We got a good chess match right here with these ladies.
Got the height advantage for Philadelphia.
Even though we got a right-hander versus a lefty, whoever gets their jab established is going to win this round.
Right now, Butler trying to do that from a distance, and Vargos trying to slip inside of that. You know, we watch it from here and say, okay, well, you've got to stay outside with the jab, and you have to beat the jab and slip it if you're on the other side. But it takes a little while to make that happen.
It's easier said than done for sure.
We want it all done right away. Yeah. It looks easy.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times when they're just sitting there not throwing stuff, it's not because they don't want to, it's just they don't feel right letting their hands go.
And you don't want to gamble with no upside.
That's absolutely, because it takes one shot to turn the whole round around. A little low shot, but I think the most significant fight or punches came from Vargos so far.
But she's in a countering mode, so now the question is whether she'll be rewarded.
Right.
Good situation with that. It's hard to gamble on being a counterpuncher in this type of a format.
You don't know what the judges are looking for. You know, you kind of have to give them a little bit of everything. Effective aggression, effective punching, ring generalship. You got to really try to dominate all the areas of scoring.
Yeah, and we talked about all the different luminaries that have converted to this. Talking about the judges, one of them is a Hall of Fame judge, Steve Weisfeld, who is in both the Atlantic City International Hall of Fame. And many other accolades for him. So you've got top-notch judges weighing what we're seeing.
Nice overhand come out from Vargos. I think she was hurt in this last exchange, but I think she weathered the storm in his back, you know, punching with some authority.
And then stylistically, it looks good for Butler on the outside. Butler found some comfort late in that fight. Is Philly about to check the New York momentum?
I don't know. It was a close round.
Yeah.
It was a close round.
Good counter shot there.
I think Chanel did do enough, but who knows?
New York City trying to get its first lead. But not yet.
Philly took the lead back.
Yeah, I thought that she did enough out there, and she gets it. So Philly back up by 1. Philly has won the first fight in each of the launch
and the
middle rounds competition. And there's Angel Hernandez trying to make it 2 in a row for Philly.
Fun fact, his father was as a boxer as well, Angel Hernandez. He was also a bare knuckle boxer too, so this is a fighting family, the Hernandezes.
Well, that often carries over into competitions. We'll see if it does here.
Well, right away, I love Angel's quick, fast jab that he's throwing out there.
Very crisp right hand by Hernandez as well. It's early, but so far Hernandez fighting like he owns it.
Sherbek's gonna have to figure out how to deal with his speed. How can he slow him down?
Well, he already walked into a jab, and when he came in another time, he walked into a right hand. So right now, Hernandez is sharpshooting. For the early edge, first minute, Hernandez looking good. Good hand speed by Hernandez.
Yes, sir.
And
good counters from Sherbek too. He didn't let him go away without getting touched.
you have to like the way that Hernandez got in and got out, but didn't take himself out of punching range.
That's right. His good feet, good distance.
Big right hand by Hernandez, shaking up his opponent.
Some fancy footwork.
Is this the guy you want to see gamble, try to get a knockout if you're Philly?
He has to be careful because Sherbek can punch. He's got that stopping power. 1 minute to go. It looks like Hernandez is taking control of this round, this bout.
Because there's always that debate. Everything's going good. How much do I want to step it up? Do I want to shoot for more with a little bit of a risk? So the difference has been Hernandez seeing what's coming to him and being willing to step out and take that shot first and get there a split second faster.
He's faster, he's better feet. Sherbek's really best chance is to put his hands up and let him, hopefully something lands.
Final seconds. Philly looks like they're going to make it 2 in a row.
Good round for Philly.
It's a dominating performance. One of the really best sharpshooting efforts we've seen. Make them miss.
Make them pay.
All in one replay.
That's boxing. Hit and don't get hit. Well, battle of the chin beards.
Yeah, they both could take a lot. So Philadelphia back up by 2. It's a pattern we've seen before. We've seen different ebbs and flows throughout all the competitions so far. We've seen teams that have been front runners.
Yeah.
We've seen teams try to rally. And this is one of those where a lot of back and forth. I get some momentum, you get some momentum.
This is why we love Team Combat League.
Yeah.
Only here. Where else are you going to find this many action-packed rounds in a fight?
What I really like about it, too, is you can now go and study your opponent yourself after the fights. You know you're going to see them down the road. You have to fight them.
Adjustments will be made. The next fight will be better than the first fight.
Basically, you have to adjust to being a sprinter.
Oh, good. 1, 2, 3 for Philly.
Suttles trying to go in and out. Guerrero trying to get a distance. Guerrero was the first one willing to gamble. Did not happen there, but showed the willingness to try to make it happen. Somebody has to break the logjam.
Well, because at where she is now, at this distance, Suttles is winning. Guerrero needs to get closer and make it a little more uncomfortable for Suttles.
Which means she has to be willing to take one.
That's right. Or move her head on there. That's what we're just talking about. That's where she needs to be. Nice. This is where Suttles wants to be. On the outside, pop shot.
And then you can get that sneaky right hand in, even though you appear to be satisfied with the jab.
Right.
I'm happy, I'm happy. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Huh.
The jab and a hook here. It's a nice straight jab down the middle. And she has settled into a groove. More so.
That right hand on the button. We got a 10-7 round.
We got this fight turning around. That puts New York in front.
It sure does.
What did we say about I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm not?
Here's the right hand.
She went for more.
Look, and that's a big win for New York. Because not only is that a 3-point round, they were scheduled to go in the money round. So that's another point for New York. It's 4 points.
Boom.
Woo.
Boom.
Button.
I nominate that as the best punch thrown in the first round of all Team Combat League.
And that's definitely going to be knockout of the night.
I'm voting for it right now. And that's how New York gets into the lead.
First lead New York is taking it tonight.
Let's see how she sets this up. Remember, she's been jabbing beautifully all night, winning from outside, and boom, the jab sets it up.
I love that jab. It's always behind the jab.
But now, is it the jab and the right hand subtly moving forward at the same time? I mean, it's a bing-bing. But are you thinking bing-bing when you do that?
It was the timing, too. You know, the jab, I feel like she was just throwing it out there to get the right hand off. And as she tried to counter with her right hand, Suttles snuck her right hand before she could get it out.
She was thinking 2 punches then.
Yes, sir. She was 2 punches ahead.
Make them react to the jab, and then throw the bomb. Opponent did get up. Being administered to.
All right. Because at the end of the day, we need everybody to go home healthy to their family. They may not be happy, but as long as they're healthy.
That's right. That's right.
You don't play boxing. Look at her face.
New York City Attitude, 10-7, Stasia Suttles. Our score now, 104, New York City Attitude to 103, Philadelphia Smoke.
So Team Forget About It has now gone ahead for the first time, and by staying close and not being blown out of it early, they kept themselves alive for one big shot to turn it around, and here they are.
That's all you need is just one big shot, and you can turn the whole story around. This is why we love Team Combat League. Only here.
Now, interesting thing is, Now that the building is buzzing from what they just saw, what about the follow-up fight?
I'd hate to have to, to follow that.
You start jabbing and moving, they start booing now. What is this?
Round number 12 is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In the 147-pound division, welcome from New York City Attitude, Lionel Omar Colin Santana. And fighting out of Philly Smoke, Nemo Farmer.
All right, so here we go. New York has the first chance all night to parlay and to build on a lead. Philadelphia behind for the first time in this contest.
Now, this is, again, where the team aspect comes in. Philly's feeling that weight on his back. He's got to get a win for his team. Not for him, but for his team.
In a sport like this that can humble you in a second, do you really believe teams are overconfident? I mean, it seems to me that you expected them to be, but I don't see how you could be.
Well, and the thing is about overconfidence. As a fighter, you have to be overconfident. You got to believe that you're going to win, especially if nobody else does. So I don't believe necessarily in overconfidence. Cocky, where you don't train, that's a problem. All these men and women have been training hard.
So once you get in here, any type of overconfidence or swaggers is good.
It's a good thing. Philly's kind of walking into the right hand. I like to see him, move to his right. Good body shot.
All right, so give a good idea of how each fighter should be stylistically, starting with the New York fighter going against the lefty here.
Well, so they have a good, they have the lead. The New York fighter seems to flourish on the outside. That's where he should stay. Philly, he needs to make it an ugly fight. Get inside, rough him up. We only have 3 minutes, It's okay if you blow your load. Nice jab.
Because here you got the keep your foot outside the lead foot, the lead right hand, the double left hook.
It's not in Farmer's best interest to take steps back.
Well, now you've got the shift to southpaw. What do you feel about that generally?
If you can do it.
At the slip?
If you can do it, I don't. I watched like Marvin Hagler, who he would switch southpaw in between rounds. He wouldn't switch in the middle of rounds, so to speak. He'd come out southpaw, he'd go back southpaw. He comes out right-handed, he'd go back right-handed. But if you can do it, do it.
It's the type of idea that can go with a situation in which you're not expecting knockouts. If you're trying to build up points, a guy who's not a big puncher maybe can build stuff from either side.
Yeah. It's really just about finding what works. If you find success in the southpaw stance, keep it. Keep using it.
They both think they won. Somebody will be disappointed.
It was a good round. I couldn't tell you who took it. It was a good round.
Philadelphia wins. We're even again. New York wins. It's a 2-point lead.
New York City takes the round.
So it's 2-point lead.
10-9, Lionel Omar Colin Santana.
And you know it's great when you can say this is the biggest
And
lead of the night.
Is now 114 to 112. New York City.
Well, Bubba, New York is
Attitude.
riding the big M momentum train.
Oh, yeah, it's a close fight of the night, and that's how you know it. When you got the biggest lead of the night being a 2-point, these guys getting ready to get in action. I'm going to get out of here before I have to get dirty, but it's going down. Attitude versus Smoke, baby.
All right, way to be in the mix.
Round number 13 of the middle rounds. Fighting out of New York City Attitude, Philip Stankovic. And from Philly Smoke,
It's good to know where you fit, and it's good to know where you don't. He was smart to get out of there. 2-point lead for New York. Philadelphia won the first 4 bouts. New York the next 4 to get us out of the launch rounds even. Philly winning the first 2 middle rounds. Spectacular knockout for New York. Put that team in front. And New York now trying to build on it.
Good left hands from New York, straight rights. Oh.
Robinson in the corner here.
And Ray Robinson has a great boxing name, first and foremost. I remember when Ray Robinson fought at 125 back in the amateurs. Buddy grew up.
And not only that, but when he went to those other weight classes, he still carried his speed with him.
Yeah,
that was maybe the most uncanny thing when you look back. All right, so you've got pressure from Stanovic and Robinson trying to box him and move out.
He slips in counters at some weird times that it's hard to get a beat on. You know, he's pretty awkward in his style. Oh, nice uppercut.
Oh. Robinson bringing some artillery he hadn't shown and taking it. Now, what about this style, fighting off the ropes for Robinson? Can you convince the judges that you're using this as an offensive weapon, or is it going to go against you because they don't think you're aggressive?
It depends on the judge. From what I see, even though he was on the ropes, he was very effective in his punching. Philip, he wasn't effective in his aggression. So, you know, some judges might still give it to him for it. But some of Robinson's best scores landed when his back was against the rope.
So I think if you go to your back against the ropes, you have to do it with a ton of attitude and intent.
Absolutely.
You can't just be there. You have to have...
You better be fighting.
A toying strategy. Oh, good left hand by Robinson.
That was a clean slip-out uppercut.
There's an elbow from his opponent. And a good right hand coming in. And this is where the risk part comes in. When you've been on the ropes and then you allow your opponent to come in and maybe cut down the angle and tee off on you.
Nice hook. Set it up with the feint left hand. Oh, he's trying to roll home for that left uppercut.
So, will the judges say, here's to you, Mr. Robinson?
I think so. He definitely was effective in everything he threw. Woo! Nice rally at the end.
We don't need a scorecard.
Yes, sir. We love the energy.
Well, this was tactical genius from being in the back. This is how you fight off those ropes. You surge in your opponent.
Smoke takes that round. 10-9, Ray Robinson.
And back to 1.
That's right. No, he definitely deserved that bout.
123-122, New York City Attitude.
We got the OG, Triple OG, Jesse Hart in the building.
#1 contender. I mean, he's been fighting in the boxing ranks for quite some time. His dad, who trained him, legend in the Philadelphia circles, Eugene Cyclone Hart. These days of Benny Briscoe and the Philadelphia middleweights.
Brought to you by Serenity Springs.
At a great time for
It is
Philadelphia
for the
boxing.
175-pound division. Cutting out of New York City Attitude, Isaac Carl.
Now, Jesse Hart has been in major pressure situations.
Yes, sir.
For years and years. Now condensing it into one round. What about the approach and the mindset of someone like him?
So again, you know, for him being a veteran and has gone 10, 12 rounds many times, he's got to have to let go of that professional veteran style and kind of adopt more of an amateur, quick, fast, let him go style.
Is there also a thought in his mind, though, that, hey, I'm better than these guys in this particular circuit because of where I've had to go?
You know, yes, of course. He's seen the heights of the boxing. He's been in there with some of the best guys in the game. And that experience got to transfer over to say, this guy's not going to show me anything I haven't seen before. Oh, swinging for the fence. Nice combo.
Jesse Hart trying to walk him down, cut the ring off.
Saw him pawing at his eye. I don't know if he saw some blood from a headbutt or something.
If we approach the halfway point, it's been Hart boxing effectively on the outside, then tying up. Yeah. We're seeing some veteran moves like that.
Big time, but Isaac has been effective on the inside. When he lets his hands go, you know, Jesse Hart doesn't have an answer for him.
Hart trying to walk him down.
Nice step. That was a good step around.
Interesting that Jesse Hart moving straight back. It surprises me a little that he would do that.
You know, that's not a vet move.
No.
He's letting his hands go too now, which I feel like he needs. That's the only part that's missing in this game is the combination punching from Jesse Hart.
Patience is not a virtue in Team Combat League. You have to get the work done fast.
Because if you don't, you're going to be playing catch-up. And you don't want to be playing catch-up in a 3-minute fight.
It probably takes a while to learn how to fight in this particular format, no matter where you're coming from.
Absolutely. Ooh. Good exchange from both guys. Jesse took a good shot. Right back on him.
Here comes Hart. Takes a shot. Oh, that could have been a knockdown, and they called it a slip. I don't know. Initially, it looked like that. The replay will be very interesting for that. And that's a very big non-call. Remember that.
That was huge.
Let's take a look. Was it or wasn't it?
I guess the shot didn't land.
We can't see the feet there.
I want to see that again.
There was no argument coming back.
No.
New York City!
Will not matter. How about that? Jesse Hart, the big name.
It was a good, I think it was a good call. It was close round. I think Isaac did enough to win.
I think this is a lot about the league in that here's a guy with major boxing credentials still, and you can beat him in this competition.
Yeah. Now, if he had 8-10 rounds to set things up, it might have been a different story. But this one round is a good equalizer.
But just the fact that a guy could lose with that much experience advantage speaks volumes. All right. New York back up by 2.
Then we have the former 2-time world champion, USS Steve Cunningham. Again, another veteran in the game. We'll see how he transfers into this format.
A lot of fighters look at this format as a chance to be reborn.
Absolutely.
Because there really weren't a lot of extra special things for boxers for many years. But they can enjoy something like this.
Well, TCL has been breathing life into a lot of fighters' careers. Vets and rookies, you know, up-and-comers and former champions. It's giving life back to them. Letting the people see them work.
We have something that could live in its own realm or feed the world of boxing. Like if you do well here, there's other opportunities. People are going to see you.
Absolutely, and that's what a lot of fighters are missing, is just being seen. It's gotten to the point where fighters only fight once or twice a year, and that's only, you know, guys that only have 10 fights. That's crazy. This is giving them activity. It's giving them experience. It's letting the fans see their favorite fighters weekly.
And then from there, some personalities will emerge.
Absolutely. Some stars will be born.
But right now, you know that every weekend, Merit TV, got all these fights, doubleheaders. We get to see the whole league unfold over time. How about that? Boxing has standings.
Yes, that's right. This is the new standard for boxing, in my opinion.
I think you cannot go wrong in this social media age with people wanting instant results to do this.
That's right. Sometimes people don't want to have to go through 11 rounds to get to the 12th round. We have 24 12-round fights.
And this can work as a compliment to the people who love boxing for what it is.
Yeah.
Bring in those people here and send new people over there.
That's right.
You know, because especially you keep the idea of a 10-9 round. That's classic boxing with the scoring. People can relate to that. They certainly can relate to that knockout they saw.
That's right. Nice work.
Probably this league is I think the most creative that boxing has ever had as a variation on a theme.
I believe so, and especially with all these, you know, non-traditional boxing leagues kind of coming around. This has got to be one of my favorites. Steve Cunningham having a good round. Not bad for an old man, huh? Nice 1-2.
And as you're watching here, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, new bouts coming from Merit TV. Then you watch 1 week, get an idea, well, what's going to happen now, you know? How do we see Las Vegas trying to parlay what they just did against the Miami Assassins? How good are they?
Yeah.
Or is the Beast in the East from this one? Now you start to get to talk.
Steve Cunningham looked good in that round. I think he definitely did enough to win. And he didn't use too many veteran moves. He just out-punched, out-boxed. Yes, sir.
That was a veteran saying, I'm just not going to make any mistakes.
Yeah.
All right, so Philly with an important answer. Back to
142, 141.
What would
New York City Attitude.
What will New York City ever do if they get a 5-point lead? They'll never know what to do with it. Their first one, 225, 224.
Yeah, they definitely making everybody work for every point.
Ready? Good luck.
Back to the heavy hitters. We got the big boys.
Round number 16 of the middle rounds in the 205-plus pound division. Fighting out of New York
All right,
City
this is the
Attitude.
table setter now.
Plavaco. And fighting out of Philly Smoke. Kanja. Nathan.
Plavaco and Nathan in the final tilt for the middle rounds. The other night we saw Phoenix use the middle rounds to get right back in it. And despite coming up short later against Los Angeles, middle rounds are a real good springboard.
It's very important. Oh. Kanja Nathan's got Plavaco biting on his feints. It's not a good sign for Plavaco.
Think about this. Could we be even again?
Going into the money rounds, I hope so.
But be deadlocked after both the launch and the middle rounds?
I hope so.
We're not going to have any fingernails left by the time we go for the money rounds. Good body work, good honest work on the inside. But you definitely get a sense that these guys laying on each other, they're going to be breathing heavily in that last minute.
It's all right, let it all out.
Who's going to find something in that final 30 seconds?
Good uppercut. Just barely grazed Plavaco's face. Uh-oh.
Big shot coming back there. Is Plavaco able to get a good left hook in?
Yeah, I hear his corner telling him, just keep punching, just keep punching. Oh, good jab. Conjur's looking like he's a little bit tired. This is a good time for Plavaco to step it up. Take advantage of that.
Talked about, we figured stamina in this particular bout is going to mean a lot with these guys in the final minute.
That's right. Oh.
Nathan and Plavaco battling it out in the final minute.
Oh, yeah, Nathan's looking a little bit slow in the last 30 seconds.
This is the fight that establishes position for the money rounds.
Plavaco better dig deep and go to work. Nice.
So will Philly even it, or does New York get breathing room?
I think Nathan did enough to win that round. We'll see what the judges say. But I think we're going into the money rounds dead even.
So, even again.
Even, right?
And our total score
well, I'll tell you what. It was even after the launch rounds, and now it's even Steven after the middle rounds. You can't ask for more. New York and Philly going right at it. Even after the first part of it, even after the middle rounds. And when we come back, it's time for money, money, money. The money rounds will be straight ahead. Okay. That's because of that's because.
Okay. Why did 24 get scratched? Was yeah. Ah. Yeah.
Ooh, that subtle. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've authored a different story all weekend in each of the fight cards that we've had. And this one, dead even after both the launch and the middle rounds. What else can you want? Well, New York is going to want a little bit more because they get an extra point in this because of the early knockout.
That's right.
You talked about that when it happened. That now becomes a 4-point win for New York because they get a win in the money rounds because of that.
That's right. The lady who was stopped, she cannot go no more.
Sure,
and she was picked for the money rounds, so that means that it's an automatic loss for, was that Philly?
So Philly gets a loss, and then also bout number 24, scratch. So we have 6 bouts to go. Now, let's go to Bubba. Bubba, they're going back and forth. The house must be rocking.
Man, they're going back and forth. The Attitude versus Smoke. A little Philly, a little bit of New York. And listen, we saw Jesse Hart say, it's time to cook them. He put the cook on him, he put the cook on him, and then he actually didn't hit the grave up. He didn't heat the stove. The New York guy came out and got the win. So we're excited about what we're going to come into in the money rounds because there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of cooking, but there's more boxing going on in this ring, and we're going to see the finality in a little bit.
Yeah, we're really excited. Thank you, Bubba, as we've got 6 fights to go now. They've whittled it down, and that increases the importance of each fight now in the money round. It must feel like double pressure.
Oh, absolutely. You know, this fight has been neck and neck from the launch to the middle, and now when we put up our best matches up in the money rounds, the pressure is on, for sure. Like I said, they're not fighting for themselves. They're fighting for their city.
And, you know, we thought this would be a good, tight contest coming in. It has been all of that, as it can go either way. Now, both teams are looking at this as we do have a blueprint for victory. We've had some good things. New York coming back from 4 points down, and then Philly coming back from 2 points down after the demoralizing streak in the middle with the knockout and then the loss after that.
That's right. And again, you can't let them get too much in a hole. You got to rally yourself back, got to rally your team back, so that way we can keep ourselves in the fight.
All right, let's take a look at the Balance of Nature lineup for the money rounds. Look at that, down to 6 fights. Now remember, for all intents and purposes, New York gets an extra point in here because of that. So we start even, but New York with a small lead as that will be assessed. So some big names. Jesse Hart tries for a little bit of redemption. He's the guy you look to.
That's right.
But as Bubba said, he didn't cook. Tries to get that stove back on.
Yeah, he did find his rhythm later on in the round.
Yes.
So maybe he can start where he left off in that last round.
And we saw in some of our other fight cards exactly that. You lose the first time, but you discovered something at the end you were doing well, and then you're able to carry that over if you have another chance that night.
Right.
And so we saw some fighters getting 1 win out of 2 chances, and that's how that materializes. And there's nothing better than winning the second time if it's a choice.
Especially if you lost the first one.
Yes.
That comeback.
Because you take that one out of you take that one to next week.
That's right. And you know, Jesse Hart, he's a vet, and I'm sure he's going to make his adjustments. More than that, he has some good coaches that have good eyes on the prize.
And plus, he's looked to as a leader for the team. So a lot riding on it. Well, we've seen quite a bit as far as the drama so far.
Oh, a big drama. What did Triple G say? Big drama show.
Big drama show. Teams coming from behind, spectacular knockout, upsets. The Hart one has to be considered a win New York did not expect to get. And sportsmanship.
It's gentlemen's sports, but we got the trash talking, we got the handshaking, we got it all.
I think it's also really exciting for the fighters to be in on the ground floor of something.
Again, the energy is crazy, and the fighters really, they light the fire under the people.
Yes.
Not the other way around. It's the fighters that kind of get the crowd going, because they have all their emotions in this
Kind of reminds me of back when I first started to cover boxing in the casino era. And the casinos brought a level of fighters into prime time that hadn't been there, and they just embraced that.
They loved it.
They became kind of casino heroes. As they got a crowd, they would bring them to the arenas, and maybe 1,000 people. It would be sold out. And they created something for themselves, and it was also very good for Atlantic City. Dave Bontempo and Austin, no doubt. Trout watching a competition that is in doubt right now. As New York and Philadelphia thundered down the home stretch.
But this is where it all comes down to, the money rounds. The beautiful thing about the money rounds is that both teams put up their best, or what they feel is their best matchup. So we're going to get the best of the best from both sides.
And a lot on the line for New York, too, because having lost the first fight by 1 point, it would be really good for that team to be able to even the record. And for Philadelphia, good representation for the defending champions.
Absolutely. But again, it's champion versus champion. We got season 1 champs versus the season 2 champs. New York is not going anywhere without a fight.
And without an attitude. So much so that they brought it into the name.
Headed into the money rounds. In the 126-pound weight division, fighting out of New York City Attitude, Enrique Leon. And fighting out of Philly Smoke, Rashid Brown.
All right. Leon and Brown.
Let's see if Enrique learned something that he can do different for the last round.
This is the chance to.
I think that hook shook him up a little bit.
Yeah, that really established the tone. Oh, a knockdown. That looks legit. It is. Huge.
He's got a lot of time left, too. One more knockdown, and they will stop it. It will be a 10-7 round for Philly.
Philadelphia has come storming out of the gate in the money rounds, as they did in the launch rounds, as they did in the middle rounds.
There it is.
Wow, 10-7. Wow, that is monumental for Philadelphia. They'll go up by 2 now. Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow. Hey, you go back to the drawing board. You talked about that. You work on some things. This is how it started.
Yep, this is like 6 left hands in a row. 2, 3. 3 of them. We caught him on the floor a little bit.
Smoke, 10-7, Rashid.
And the left hand, he could not miss with that left hand.
And our score, 170, 168, Philadelphia Smoke.
Wow, that smoke, where there was smoke, there was fire there, because now Philadelphia won the first fight in all 3 segments, and this one a 10-7. So in those first 3 segments, the first fight in each segment, Philadelphia is +5.
That's right. Now it's up to New York to try to change this back.
All right, 147-pound division, fighting out of New York City Attitude, Darius Jackson. And fighting out of Philly Smoke, Tyree Haywood.
So this is the most significant fight of the weekend that has had lead changes all throughout.
Yeah, about three times it's changed hands.
Philly up 4, then New York up 2, then Philly up, then New York up, and then even. New York coming into this one with the default point from the earlier knockout. And Philadelphia just snatched it back.
Ooh, good straight grab. Stop Buddy in his tracks.
Now, when you're in the money rounds, Do you stay within yourself, or is there a tendency to gamble more because possibility you could really change the team outcome as we just saw?
Well, for my fighters, I ask them to give me everything you got, you know, and if we have a good lead, okay, sure, play it safe. Nobody has a good lead in this fight. Oh, okay, they are fighting.
Guys are going at it. You would think that there was no earlier fight between these guys. In good shape. What about the training for a one-round fight? What do you tell your people?
Well, what we do in our sparring is we break it down, and we have 3 different guys come at him every minute for 5 minutes. You know, so it's a sprint.
He never gets a break. It's a 5-minute round for him.
5-minute round, 5 different guys, and then we'll switch them out.
And I'm sure that the fighter, first time might be really gassed, and then the stamina improves.
Oh yeah, it gets better, and they're able to fight under stress, because that's what it is. You know, you're fighting out one guy, and then you got another guy coming for your head. You have to figure out how to handle that stress and still perform.
Reminds me of being in cross country and track, where you're trained by running uphill.
That's right.
Then when you're on level ground, it's easy. But these guys are going for keeps here. Excellent moves on the inside. Ooh, excellent uppercut. Off of the good moves.
That's a great footwork. Some good punching off the good footwork. This is great boxing right now.
Jackson performing like an all-star. He did put New York on the map.
He's the one that turned it around for New York. And hats off to Tyreen, because he is sticking it in there.
So regardless of who ends up being the MVP, does Jackson have a chance for bonus points here?
What a finish.
If he gets this 10-9, he may be regarded as the most important strategic fighter in this.
Absolutely. Babyface assassin right there.
What time is it? What time is it?
Jackson with a nice right hook. Good work on the inside.
Great exchange. I like Jackson's his balance. You know, he stays on top of his feet, which means it helps his power.
He may be the most important fighter of the night for New York, because he was the stopper when they were down 4-0. And he answers after the knockout for Philadelphia.
Now with a 1-point fight.
178, Philadelphia Smoke.
I mean, a lot of times it's when you're fighting. I mean, he's been the stopper twice tonight for New York.
Our next round in the money rounds is for 175-pound weight division. Fighting out of New York City Attitude, Isaac Carbonell. And fighting out of Philly Smoke, Jesse Hart.
Carbonell and Hart. Now can Jesse Hart forget what happened last time and get it for his team?
Well, hopefully he doesn't forget, but hopefully he learns.
Well, we saw him in the uncharacteristic position of backing straight up in that first fight, which is like a cardinal no-no, as opposed to moving laterally, which he did not do. Are trying to get in and out. Yeah, for Hart, knowing that's coming, the double jab would be good for him.
Absolutely, it'll stop that hook over. It'll stop that left hand. Oh, good shot catching him on the come out. It looks like Jesse learned something from the last round.
What do you think is the biggest change he's made?
He's stepping to the side. He's not going straight back like you said. It's the lateral move. And every time he steps in, he steps off to the left a little bit and not straight in either. Nice.
Hart a little bit more measured in this fight. It's great to have a chance to fight a second time if you haven't won in the first fight.
And for a fighter like Jesse Hart,
yeah,
another look is as you can see, it's doing him a lot of good.
And also, let's not forget the pressure in the community being where he's been. To say, did you really lose twice? Come on, man.
And listen, Isaac is no slouch.
Right.
He's a good fighter. And,
yeah.
You know, but Jesse's showing his vet prowess right now. Wow.
I mean, that's one of the understated things about, when you are known.
Yeah, that's true.
That there's pressure on you.
I can tell you, I liked it when I was the underdog.
Yeah.
He's in a good rhythm. He's got his distance right.
I remember your fight with Cotto, Madison Square Garden. Everybody Cotto because he owns it.
Yeah.
They love him there. Right, the guy that's celebrated with the Puerto Rican parades and everything, and you're very happy to be low-key,
Yeah.
and then you beat him.
Las Cruces, New Mexico, in the Madison Square Garden. Who would have thought?
You did.
And I thought for sure.
Hart thinks he's got his revenge.
I think so, too. Let's check it out. The non-stop action the last 10 seconds. Oh, it looked like his hand may have went down. And the ref is trying to stop him. It's not working.
If the glove touches, it would be a knockdown.
Yeah.
All right, this is an important call.
He got his revenge.
Philly back up by 2.
I know that felt good. Because he lost the first round, and he won that first round, that second round, fair and square. The 1-1 each.
You don't want to wait a week. Hey, Bubba, what do you think? This is back and forth like nothing else.
Ping pong.
Jesse Hart definitely got the win that he was looking for. He definitely got the draw, so it was 1-1. He said it's time to cook him as Jesse Hart's going past the camera, and it's definitely time to cook. We're coming down to the last couple rounds, and New York versus Philly, champ versus champ. Somebody's got to win it, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of it.
You sure are, man. Thank you. Yeah, we've really got a pulsating finish set up here. And now if you're Philly up by 2, you like the fact that it's a shorter money round.
Yeah, absolutely. So. We got, what, 3 rounds left?
So you really could get yourself in a situation with a win here that you take the other team into must-knockout territory. But that's all.
That's where you don't want to be. You don't want to be in a position where you need a knockdown in order to win or even tie. You know? So these next rounds are so important. And look, Ryan looks like he's made his adjustments from the last round. And he's staying inside a little bit more. Nice stab.
I also think your rhythm improves for the second fight. Are you a little faster? You just pick up things easier?
You know, again, it's all about the timing. And once you've gotten a look at your opponent, you're able to time a little bit better for the next round. Wow, good double hook.
So can Albright sing the anthem sing the blues to his opponent. He's already won one fight tonight.
That's right. And this would be a big win for Philly if he could get another round for him.
A lot of human interest around these fighters coming in there to add these extra skills.
Mouthpiece knocked out.
Let's go, coach. There you go, baby. You can come up, you know that, right? You're allowed to come up. No coaching.
Referee laying it out. You can come up, but no coaching. We always see managers and coaches trying to skirt the edges of that and throw their stuff in.
Nice combination.
60 seconds left.
Is Ryan doing enough to win the round?
He is putting a lot of pressure on.
He's definitely putting his best foot forward. Oh!
And that's the other thing that's up for grabs. If you land a signature punch, even if, because how good it looks, you might get more mileage than normal.
Absolutely. I think effective punching is the first thing that judges look at. Did it hurt?
Stop! Let him out clean. Let him out clean. Let go of him. Let go of him. Good.
Final seconds of a very important money rounds battle. Philly and New York, neck and neck.
And then really, this is a good, close round. I don't know who got it.
And this is a big call.
Yeah, this is a big, important round.
It's either Philly by 3 or by 1. But will New York have a margin of error after this fight? We're about to find out. So, back up 3.
Yeah. I mean, that was a close round.
Yeah.
Our total score, 199-196. Philadelphia Smoke.
It's a landslide, 3 points. Philly was up by 4. That's the biggest lead of the night. New York has been ahead. The knockout early in this middle, the money round segment has been the big event that changed everything.
Yeah.
So now New York needs a knockout.
They need a knockdown for sure, at least.
This round of the money rounds is sponsored by Serenity Springs. It is for the 126.
Now, as a coach, what would you be telling Mendez here? Would you say, hey, let it all hang out even if you lose because we need more points, or stay within yourself? I mean,
I would tell Mendez that she needs to get in with the jab and stop going straight in, come in at an angle, because you're just running into, this girl's straight rights.
And unfortunately happened to be running into Rashida Ellis.
Yes.
We'll just put up a skyscraper by 5 o'clock. We'll be fine. The 2019 AIBA champion, 2020 Olympian, and now you're facing her in the money round, trailing.
Look, she has a lot of experience. She's good for a reason.
And this all goes into the coaching of how you select, who you select. If you're sitting on a lead, this is probably exactly the person you want fighting for.
Absolutely. So Menendez makes Rashida miss, but she doesn't come back with something. So all that defense was for nothing.
And whereas Mendez has to gamble, Ellis does not.
Yes, and she needs to go ahead and go for it.
We have been seeing the 3-minute rounds for the women. First time it's really being unveiled throughout entire cards with a lot of fighters on it. Because traditionally, 2 minutes. The women themselves are the ones who want it to go to 3.
That's right. They say, you know, they sparred 3-minute rounds anyway.
With the 3-minute rounds means more money, it means more stature. And that seems to be the trend of where it's all going to eventually go.
So that's where Menendez needed to let her hands go. She had her stuck in a good position, but she didn't do anything about it.
Well, she's got Ellis in a spot where she could take a shot at least. Ellis brings the hands back.
Yes.
Doesn't leave it out there too long open for debate. She did get caught there, but a good boxer who fights within herself is a difficult person to try to be overcoming a deficit against.
Because she doesn't make many mistakes. And if you're begging for her to make a mistake, you're going to be waiting a long time. You got to make her make the mistake. Oh, good right hand.
But she almost did make one there.
Yeah, almost.
So, does Ellis put an exclamation point on this for Philly? She thinks so.
Absolutely.
What do the judges think?
I think the judges agree with her.
Yeah. And Mendez just had a tough ask. That's a tough assignment.
Philadelphia Smoke, 10-9, Rashida Helen.
So the Smoke match, their biggest lead of the night.
Our score, 209 to 205.
And they will clinch the team title with that. We still have another fight, though.
Still got one more.
So with that one wrapping up the event, because New York could get 10-7 and then close it to 1 point.
Yeah, but it's nonetheless.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, this was a match anyway.
68-pound division of this money round, fighting out of New York City Attitude, Philip Stankovic. And fighting out of Philly Smoke, Ray Robinson.
Robinson had a key victory for Philadelphia earlier after New York had surged.
That's right. He helped bring Philly back into contention.
So you have to think, looking at it with the defending champs, you've got Ellis and Robinson closing the show for you. That's a good lineup.
That's a great run. Yeah, that was good picking on the coach's part.
Now, what is the process of selecting the money rounds? You do it before?
We do it before, and you get your 4 matchups that you want, and then they get 4 matchups that they want. Depending on who's home, depends on who gets to pick first. Ray complaining about some foul that Stankovic pulled. He was holding and hitting. Stankovic has got to let it go. There's nothing left to lose but to lose.
But if a guy just shoves a jab near your face, it makes you reset. That's what's happened here.
Exactly, it does.
So it's not supposed to be money against the ropes, but Robinson has been able to do that.
Yeah. His best shots have been coming from off the ropes. Just like that uppercut we saw.
So now, if you were fighting a guy who's going against the ropes like that, do you keep turning so that you don't keep coming at him and you make him keep turning?
Yeah. You try to maybe even try to bait him off the ropes, feints, step backs. You got to get a little tricky because Robinson is a vet himself.
I mean, we've seen in fights with longer time where the guy will just walk away.
Yes.
Try to make you look like you're not doing anything by standing there.
1 minute to go in this fight. And this will be our last round because our 24th round got scratched due to, I believe, a cut.
That one ended up 10-10, but the earlier knockout produced the point for New York, which Philadelphia has overcome.
Yeah.
So the first set of fights, the launch rounds were dead even, middle rounds were dead even, and in the home stretch, Philly pulled away late.
He did late in the money rounds.
It was up for grabs until the last 3 fights.
And that stoppage is what really put Philly over.
I'm nominating that for all kinds of honors. However they choose it.
I still that female KO.
That
was it. Suttle's KO. That's the one
of the night, of the weekend, of the year so far.
I mean, fucking go! Philly shit! Philly shit!
Well, it's city pride right there.
Yeah, we're gonna get fined for that, I'm sure. The FCC won't let me be.
Ladies and
I love the
gentlemen,
energy, though. I love the energy.
Philly Smoke takes that round.
So Philly Smoke
10-9 Ray Robinson
starts and ends like a freight train.
Yeah.
In between, New York City Attitude gave them all kinds of fits. And this will become a 5-pointer.
The score doesn't show how close this fight was the whole time.
Right.
It was neck and neck through the whole time, except for the last 3 rounds.
5 points is not a rout anyway, but what it also can't tell you is that there were lead changes.
Oh, yeah. Switching of hands would be 4 times.
That we were even after both the launch rounds and the middle rounds. We were even for both of those. So it was very close. And just basically what had happens is that Philly found another gear.
They did, and they learned, because in those money rounds, Philly was able to really press on the gas and win some rounds that were close before.
All right, we had the stoppage working in their favor, so a lot of things going well for Philly. So the smoke coming out in the money rounds, and Philly will go on the board and defend their championship in good fashion here.
That's right.
Now, the way the thing started, they might have thought they were never going to lose one. It started with the first 4. They started with the first 4, and they ended with the last handful of fights.
That's right.
To win it definitively and in style. And we saw some knockout power. We saw some good strategic decisions.
Yeah.
Having Ellis and Robinson at the back end of the anchor might be some of the best in the league.
That was a great strategic move on the coaches. But like you said, we saw everything. It brought all the drama, knockdowns, trash talking, great boxing, great slugging, everything.
All right, let's check in and see who the stars were. We have our thoughts. What's official?
Sam.
It's awards time. Thrill for these fighters to be named in either of these all-star spots.
Ladies and gentlemen, our round 3 star of the night, Stacy Studdles.
Nah, she definitely deserved that.
Amen to that.
Our second star of the night is Rashida Ellis.
2 wins.
Yep. Crucial wins.
An anchor victory when this was still on the line.
I want to be just like you. I want to be just like you, bro.
And our first star of the night, Rasheen Brown.
Yeah, he got a stoppage. He had a good win over Enrique. I agree.
All right, that's your honor roll.
And our round of the night is Cordier Albright versus Ryan Pino.
That was a great round.
Ryan Pino, by the way, you know, we're only gonna play
There you go. No losers.
No, all winners.
Enjoy the camaraderie.
That's right. Gentlemen's sport, and definitely the fans won.
We're all all-stars up here right now. A bout that had twists and turns. Philly early. Here's Bubba with the interviews.
I need everyone, actually. Yeah, I'm here with the fighter of the night, Brown. How you feel about your debut? How do you feel about what you guys got it going on this year? And how you feel about it being the first fight of the season for you guys?
I feel good. I feel like we're going to keep this momentum up. We got a real good team this season. I mean, we had the best team last season, but I feel like we're going to do even better this season.
Okay, so there was a moment in the fight where it looked like you were having a good time. It was easy for you. Is there something that he did or something in his offense or defense that made it seem that way for you?
No, that's just me. That's how I fight. I make any fight look easy. If you can put Floyd Mayweather in the ring with me, I'm going to make it look easy. I'm going to have fun in the ring regardless.
Absolutely. Well, you guys got the victory tonight. That's a good win. We're talking with Rashida Ellis here. Rashonda Ellis, I'm sorry. Rashida Ellis, my apologies. It's a family affair. Y'all got so many of the Rashida Ellises, right? So I get confused with it. But how do you feel about your performance, especially with your brother having performed this year, this being your debut?
Oh, shoot. Well, I just fight my fight, and you see what I did in the ring, you know? I'm just getting started and coming back. It's been like 2 years since I've been in the ring, so this is my comeback, actually, you know? So it's just going to get better every time. Stay tuned.
And how did you feel about it being the TCL format, being a team concept, being that you got people that you're rooting for, people that's rooting for you? How'd you feel about that?
Honestly, it's fun, and I love the experience, and I just can't wait to keep whooping some ass with the team.
Let's go.
That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coach, how'd you feel about your victory tonight? It being you guys' debut, with them already having a fight in the books, but you guys pulled out the victory, champ versus champ. How'd you feel?
It felt good. It felt good. We're going to keep winning.
So this year, with it being the TCL comeback, you guys wanting to get that belt back, do you feel like this was a good start to that?
Yeah, definitely. We had some last-minute replacements this week, and we just did what we did. We're going to keep doing. The second week, everyone's going to be back, and it's going to be our championship team from last year. I'm going to smash everybody.
All right, well, he's saying that he's going to smash everybody. TCL, you got it. You hear it first from Philly Smoke, all the way from some of the guys that I got to hear. We got a matchup, fight of the night right here from these two gentlemen. What do you feel in the fight that made it the crowd favorite?
Man, we had tension. We had that little real beef, you know, but he's a sportsman, man. He's a gentleman. I'm a gentleman. After we fight, you know, we shake hands. You know, I hope he gets home to his family, be blessed, and he's a great fighter, you know? So he showed, yeah, that's why we the fight of the night, you know?
Absolutely. Did you feel like he maybe have squeezed it out, or how'd you feel about those wins?
I felt like it could have went either way. It was whatever the judges wanted to see. I felt like I got over, but I could see why they gave it to him. I felt like it could have went either way.
Absolutely. Well, you guys had a great performance, it being the debut of the Philly Smoke, it being you guys' second fight. We're excited. We're doing it back to you guys at the studio.
All right, everybody. So Philly smoking out New York down the stretch and coming up with the win, and it was entertainment all the way. Well, we've got to put a capper on it for you. We've got some highlights to show you, some things that happened throughout the competition tonight. So stay with us. Back with more after this. Climax Moonshine Fire number 32. A drink not only made to tingle your senses with hot cinnamon flavor, but also made to pay tribute to firefighters all across America. This drink will put a kick in your step with its bold, hot smoothness. I think we saw a lot of bold, hot smoothness in this fight card tonight. And here is the KO of the night. Boom.
Beautiful shot. Picture perfect. Right on the button. You know, timing is everything. And she timed that perfect right hand.
Now, we'll see if we're calling that knockout of the match, the knockout of the month, and we'll see what's happening with that, because that was just a beautiful shot, set up with the jab, and then the right hand behind it with some excessive perfect timing.
That's right, and it just flowed so perfectly. Love that fight. I love that for her. And again, it's the type of drama that the fans love.
Well, we had all kinds of drama tonight, and it was a great night because Philadelphia jumped out, New York came back, New York went ahead, and then had the knockout of the night, as we saw there, and then Philly with the money round sprint, able to erase all of that. So I'll tell you what, been a delight seeing you again, my friend. No doubt, it's been fun.
The pleasure's been mine, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Good luck next week coaching against our buddy AC. And let's take a look at the schedule, what we have coming up, because the two guys we saw this weekend, my analysts, will be coaching. San Antonio versus Houston, Dallas versus Boston, Vegas versus Nashville, Miami, Atlanta, and then after that, Dallas and Houston, San Antonio and Phoenix, a loaded lineup every weekend on Combat League. Great all the time. And now you can scout a little bit and go back and do some coaching, right?
Absolutely. I've been watching. I'm scouting all these guys, and I'm coming up with the game plans on how we can beat every one of them. I cannot wait.
Well, Philly made a big statement this weekend. Las Vegas made a big statement this weekend. So now, when it goes to next weekend, we're going to see how other teams perform, and over the course of time, who can continue to improve with what they're doing. First week, very quickly, best thing that you've seen.
The New York-Boston fight was probably the best fight. And you know, came down to the wire and 1 point deficit. It was crazy.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, that was a one-pointer, another close one here tonight. Great matches all weekend. Hey, thanks for being with us. For Austin, this is Dave Bontempo, and saying thank you for joining us for what's been a great weekend and a great night of boxing. TCL came storming out of the blocks. New York and Philly, the Attitude, forget about it. Philadelphia, 229. New York, 224.